dead, you're part of the system, and they have ultimate control over every single aspect of your life, period. If you have not claimed your life standing, then there is nothing that's going to protect you at all, on any level of your life. The most important thing is to claim that you are alive to the Crown. And once you've claimed your life standing to the Crown, that's it. You now are the highest authority.
Can you just say quickly, because just as I'm learning, how we did, how is, I mean, I know you said all those things, how, just something really quick. We're dead because we're given our birth certificates.
Yep. Your birth certificate, you are a dead legal fictitious entity.
And that's how they regard us.
Yes, absolutely. And if you are a dead legal fictitious entity with a legal name, you have no power at all, on any level. They will try and give you the illusion of having some sort of power and control over your life, but at the end of the day, they can take you. They can take your house, they can take your car. So if you get a ticket for speeding, they're going to send it out to this legal name. And then you're going to send it back and say, look, it must have been a Friday when you sent it out. Because it's got a registration plate on it, it's the LTNZ who own the automobile or the vehicle. I'm just the registered keeper. So you want to send the fine to the LTNZ because they're the registered owner. When you get tickets sent out to the registered owner. And of course now talking about laws, they can't change laws. We call them automobiles. As I say, they couldn't change the laws on automobiles. It's still actually illegal to back out of your own driveway.
Yeah.
That still sits in law.
Oh, really?
I thought it was.
So what they do is they got the wheels manufacturers to call them vehicles and start making a whole new bunch of laws and rules and regulations on vehicles.
There is a tonnage thing on that though, isn't there? Yes.
Oh, there's all the variations of...
No, the automobile to the vehicle, there is a tonnage.
Oh, there is a tonnage
Yes,
thing.
3.5, it's 3.5 tonne.
But for the general Joe Bloggs,
Don't know.
vehicle.
So, yeah.
You drive to work in your vehicle.
We drive an automobile, yeah. You're driving a vehicle.
But in the affidavit, it's claimed as an automobile.
Yes.
Right? And it's claimed whether it's registered, unregistered or deregistered, does not matter.
Yeah.
It's protected.
Yes.
But how do you get back to being living from the dead? Well, we know with the affidavit, you claim your life. There's other forms you can use with different movements. There's an affidavit of life, which is only your claim of life to the Crown. Just one document and that's all it is. You're simply just claiming your life. There's also a live life claim that can be used. But again, it's only just for your life claim. The affidavit of truth that we use is covering 91 points of your life, not just your claim to living. So the idea was, instead of, I hate documents, I hate paperwork, I hate business crap. So instead of doing 50 documents, one.
Yes.
The one document has 91 points, covers every part of my life, covers my kids up to 18 years old, covers everything that I own, covers all of my rights, the lot, in 91 points. It's a big document, 16 pages long. And when you read it, when you get it, you find out just how powerful it is. And that's when you find out where your rights are too. So your affidavit of truth contains your claim to life. Our truth, written and unchallenged, becomes truth in law and a judgment in commerce. That is the power of the affidavit. The 91 points covering your offspring up to 18, because the word child, children, are owned by the Crown. Children is owned by the Crown. So they are called offspring, not children. You're always a child of the state.
No, only by the parents.
Yeah. You're always a child of the state. There's something in court called parens par tre. And if you get difficult in a court, they can quote parens par tre, which means the court, the Crown, will always remain your parent. You don't have any control. Sorry? Because you are a child of the state from birth and your registration. So now the state is your parent, not the parents. That's why they can come in and take you. Hold you in the corner and take the children because you don't own them. The Crown remains the parent. but you are the well, they call you the parents because you are a peer renting the children. It's the word parents. It comes with a fee schedule in this affidavit as well. There's no point in having an affidavit if you don't know what it is, if you don't know how to use it, then it is worthless to you. So it has a fee schedule. If any one of those points is breached in your affidavit, then you need to stand up and press charges, criminal charges. Because usually when you go into the cop shop, they'll try and get you to fill out a complaint form. It's not a complaint, I'm not complaining. This is a crime against my rights. So I'm reporting a crime, a criminal matter which needs investigation. So that is everything from... Oh,
Ooh.
I don't want lawyers.
you never, ever, ever, ever use a lawyer. I present myself. I don't need to be represented by a lawyer. Because if I'm going to go into a court with a lawyer, I'm not allowed to speak. He's got to speak on my behalf. Because of a legalese thing. And he's representing me. I don't need to be represented. I'll present myself as the living.
When
You
I
never
went-
use a lawyer.
When I went to get my title for my property, and I know I can legally get it, I looked up the criteria, and I went to Kiwi Bank, they refused, they said I must go through the lawyer, I rang my lawyer, he said to me, no, you can't do it yourself, I said I can, this is, look up this. But it was just too hard for me, I went back and forth to the
Yep.
Kiwi Bank, so in the end, I paid my lawyer $700.
You see, the lawyer doesn't care whether you win or lose. They get paid anyway.
No, but he made a good point. He said to me, why do banks hold on to the title? He said to me, if I were you, I would get it out.
Yeah,
We
they
get
don't
on
want
to
the
it this
stock
afternoon as
exchange,
well.
don't
Well, your mortgages, we're going to wipe them out this afternoon,
they? Yeah.
because they're all fraudulent.
If you've paid it off, bad luck.
Well, we're going to do this afternoon.
I haven't paid off.
So this fee schedule starts at $100 a minute if I'm detained for questioning or interrogation on the side of the road or anywhere else. $100 a minute. You got to pick your battles, and it goes up to $5 million if I'm handcuffed or harmed in any way. And that will go to the offender in their private and their commercial capacity. So we've got cops at the moment who are up for $10 million each for breaching the affidavit. The court refuses to hear the case, they just keep putting it off, because they don't have any answers for it. So it's $5 million in their private and their commercial capacity for breaching this affidavit. We ask a $200 fee because you're going to need support down this track, and we offer lifetime support. Okay, so this is what we do. We provide the affidavit for you. It's done up specifically. As I say, a whole team of people put this together. I'm too scared, we're too scared to change one word because we know it's uncontestable in front of a judge. Now some people have said, oh yeah, I don't like the way that's written, or this doesn't sound right. If you change it, that's fine. It's your document now. But don't come to us for support. It is what it is. We know how powerful it is as it is at the moment. So you get it sent to you with your details. We've got a form on the website that we fill in. There's 10 questions we need answered, and we put that, and Tracy builds that affidavit for you and then sends it to you in 3 different formats to use. That lifetime support you're going to need, because each one of you has got a different situation. So what the advice I might give you will be different than the advice I'll give you, because you've all got different situations. So we need to work with you individually, uniquely, to your situation, whether you've got trusts involved or businesses and so on. It all changes things. So that's lifetime support that we offer. Whether it's emails, contact me, I'm happy to talk on the phone. You know, we spend a lot of our day answering questions and doing all that sort of thing, but that's what the phone for. Okay, so we will back you up all the way, right down the line, to protect yourself and all that you have. And there's those colours for you. The red being the living flesh and blood, blue being the death row colour, black the corporation, and purple ink is the colour of the soul. when we're talking about that signature thing, if I write a signature on a piece of paper, a legal document, then I've contracted. Now, if it screws up, that document can come back and bite me in the arse in the courtroom. There was a couple of ways to protect your signature. One that we normally teach here is putting a big V dot C dot right over the top of your blue signature. The VC means via Croatius in Latin, which is under duress. And any contract, little hint in the name there, contract. It's more in the wording. Any contract that has VC on it, under duress, or any contract that is signed under duress in any form, is null and void and cannot be.
VC or visa?
V.
A V.
The V for victory.
Oh,
VC.
yeah,
Via Croatius. And now that document cannot be used against you in a court of law. Just by doing that. The other things that you can put on there is sui juris. And if you write that in amongst the ink, because you don't want them to be able to tweak it out. So you mix it in, S-U-I-J-U-R-I-S, in with your signature. It makes it a little messy, but they can't tweak it out. Sui juris means I am my own master. A friend of mine signed his new license with that. Stop saving. There's lots of other things you can add on there you can put without right or prejudice over the top of your signature. It protects your signature so that that document that you put that onto can't come back at you in law. Because it was signed under duress. Now we come to this colour, purple. This is the colour of the soul. You can't sign in red because it will not ever be accepted. But you can use purple ink. Now if I use purple ink, just with the signature, that's all I need to do. It's the colour of the soul and it can never be used against me in court. So always carry a purple pen. If you're going to sign a contract, you sign it in purple ink. It's legally acceptable.
So even a tax form?
Anything. The only other way you can sign it is with your seal. So you get a seal made up. So I'll pass this around. In the middle of a seal is my official mark. That is my mark. And these are listed publicly on the New Freeland Facebook page, which is a public forum, as my official seal and mark. So if I don't want to use a signature, I can actually use my seal in place of a signature on any document, any legal document. But if I was going to do that, I would have the stamp made up in purple, not red. So I'll pass those around, feel free to have a stamp.
Well, I can get mine done now too.
Yeah. And then we've got your new design finish.
$17 odd.
Right?
$17 odd.
Each one of these cost me about $53 to get made up. Self-stamping, nice and simple, and that is my now official mark because I've made it public. When you make something public, you're giving basically the entire bloody world a chance to rebut or argue or challenge what you've stated.
Oh, it's not registered, it's made public.
Hell no.
No,
Never register anything.
no.
It's simply a public announcement. I'm basically serving notice. No one comes back and challenges. That's it. That's now official.
So you can use that as a signature instead.
Yes,
Right.
you can get a seal made up. I make these seals up for folks when I have time. You've got to think of some mark to go in the middle. For me, it was the Hopi Indian healing hand of the Hopi Indian. So I used that as my mark because I had a great affinity with that, being spending my life as a healer.
Yeah.
And we won't get into past lifetimes, but that's where that goes to, etc. So that's very important to me and it's specific to me. So when you get your seal made up, you'll find some mark, some symbol, something that's unique to you. When you're doing allodial claims, you need to have a flag, and you're going to need to have a flag made with something unique to you on it. And normally we would go with what the seal is. So having that seal made up is quite an important thing, we feel it is.
So where did you get your seal made?
I make them my own because I'm a graphic artist, so I make them up. I charge $50. make the seal up, I send it to you as a PDF. You can then send that off to your printer or your stamp maker, and they'll make the stamps up like that.
What for?
You can choose the colour, you can get them in red, but also you can get them in blue if you want. Well, it's on there, I think, Stamps Plus, sitting on there. Stampsplus.co.nz.
They're up New Plymouth or Hastings or they're up New Plymouth or Hastings somewhere up north.
Like that there. But there's lots of other places you can get stamps made, you know, it's entirely up to you. So,
Pretty.
I didn't get to, I've updated the slides on the website. Now this is who we used to send the affidavit to, all these different positions. So there's 8 of them.
Got quite extensive.
We did. Now we only send it to one, Quentin-Andrew, Department of Internal Affairs. Because the Department of Internal Affairs is the main department which disseminates all the incoming information to the other departments, all the others.
And what you also make sure when you send it, in the courier bag, get them to sign it off. I didn't get them to sign it off.
Signature required.
Signature, I didn't do that, but
Always signature required, because then if whenever it comes to it, and they say, we didn't get your documents, sorry, I've got a screenshot of the courier site which states that it was signed for, so you do get the documents.
I actually got a photo of my parcel sitting in the rack
Yeah, cool.
from the courier, and that was my 7 documents, but not my.
And the only letter that they will
So-
send back, and they'll send back a letter, not an affidavit. Because if they are to rebut this document, it has to be in affidavit format, point for point, with evidence of their claims under penalty of perjury. But they will send you a letter,
To say it's fraudulent.
and the letter goes on about, oh, we don't
How
get
it's fraudulent and
any
stuff.
credits for this rubbish that you see online, there's misinformation, sovereignty stuff, and some sort of connection between birth certificates and corporations. No such connection exists. So we've acknowledged that we've got your stuff, but we're never going to talk to you about this again. And we go, great, because we never called ourselves sovereigns or free men.
I laughed when I got mine. It was all gobbledygook too. It was just.
And the funny thing is, of course,
You haven't got a
when
living.
you've changed and you've gone through, and now you are the living man or living woman known as, was that letter sent to that in red?
No.
So why are you doing opening mail that's not addressed to you?
I've been
Did
noted.
you know that's illegal?
I moved it so they can't see.
You remain the agent. Sorry?
I can't remember if I got one. I think I might.
It's got to get it in. I'm hoping for the vaccine.
Yeah, I've been.
Yeah, they sent me a physical one.
yeah.
Some of the early days, some of the people
And
didn't.
I moved it. We
We
moved
never
it.
got sent them.
Ashley, what was the office that you sent with them now?
Now we're sending it to Department of Internal Affairs, Quentin-Andrew, and you get the full instructions that come with this when Tracy does it all up for you. Any questions about the affidavit, contact Tracy, she'll answer any questions that you have. We have
I'm
2
looking at
different
what's
addresses
changed
that
since
we can
last
send it to.
week. My one
We've
was.
done more physical addresses. We're not sending it to Parliament anymore because.
So we were sending it to 8 of these guys,
Yep.
okay? And we were sending it to the courier department at Parliament Buildings because they are the guys responsible for getting all mail to those individuals. And at the courier department, we know it's going to be signed for. But they know that all these are coming in now, they don't like that. So they broke the Universal Postal Union rules and now have a security company intercepting all incoming mail to Parliament. Highly illegal.
Mm.
Not to them, of course. So we thought, okay, well, if you're going to screw us over like that, then we'll change the rules. We were giving them 14 days, sending it to 8 of them, and doing it all properly. They're trying to put the kibosh on that, so now we give you 1 that we send it to, Quentin-Andrew, and now we give you 4 days to rebut. But here, we only have to give you 3 days. So we're giving you 4, we're being nice. After 4 working days you haven't sent a rebuttal to the supplied address or service, that's it. That document now is the most powerful document in your hand. You just
Take
don't
it
go
with
past
you
it.
everywhere.
And you notice again, the document's all in full colour. The debtor names are in blue. The corporation positions are in black. If they change one of these, it doesn't matter. Or person holding the office of. Because they will be persons. Like every mandate that's ever written to persons. I'm not a person. You notice in a lot of my communication I say ye, not you. The word you, remember that word joiner I said before? Right, so the word Y-O-U. You're a teacher? Was a teacher?
Always a teacher.
Yeah.
We're all our teachers.
Yeah, anyway, carry on.
The word you is a joiner word in legal. So if the cop says or the judge says, I'm talking to you, and you go, oh, and you acknowledge it, you have acknowledged that you are indeed
You.
the combination of the physical body and the legal fiction. Just with the word you. The word you never existed. It was ye, thee, thou.
Oh, wow.
Hear ye, not you. It didn't exist. That's what I'm saying. These words have been made up by the Crown and are owned by the Crown and now put into school so that you use them all the time. Because teachers told us that that's the way we do it.
Sorry, no.
Because they were told.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
And doctor.
They were just
So just
more
give you an
teachers I could have
example,
followed to teach the stuff that.
And part of the things with affidavits, the front page and the last page have to be full width. I mean, all the interior of the document has to have a quarter page margin on the left. Another thing you won't see in our documents is no full stops. Not a full stop anywhere. So remember back in the day, you'd be tapping away and think, they're coming, stop. Get prepared, stop. We'll be ready, stop. Not full stop. So the judge, remember that maxim, he who would be deceived, let him be deceived? Right, so the judge can now start reading this document and read to the first full stop and say, that's the end of that document, what else have you got? Even worse than that, this is my affidavit, and I hand it to the clerk that way, to hand to the judge, please. And he goes and takes this document and puts it on the judge's desk, that way. What's on the back?
Nothing.
Right, he who would be deceived, let him be deceived. The judge now has the right to say, I see no affidavit on my bench. What else have you got?
It's childish.
It is bloody childish, but that is
But
law.
could you uplift it and reposition it?
You can't, he's done that.
Why
Why
don't
don't
you
you
go
go and sign it?
You wouldn't even go up there
No,
because that's the
it's
ship.
not affidavit.
Yeah.
It's not an affidavit.
You never go into their land. But this is the sort of stupidity that the law is based on,
Write something on the back.
just because you don't know. So now we're going to write on the back, affidavit from affiant, and then your autograph, please turn over. If you were in a court situation and that document was to go to the judge.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
This is why in a lot of legal documents, you probably would have seen over the time, if there is a big empty space, they'll put a diagonal line through it. Right, so nothing else can be added. And if
So
that-
what do you write on the back?
This is or affidavit from or by affiant, and then your autograph. Please turn over. It's ridiculous. It is real, and it gets worse. It gets worse. So in this is just the first part of it. And I'll just use Bob as the example in this one. And even though you think that you might own your property, never put your address down straight as it is. Always care of. Care of. Every time. Because if you put your address in there, then your address is attached to a legal name. Your fee simple title has a legal name. And again, you're contracted. You're under their control. So it's always care of. Whether you live there or not.
I
Always
live in
care
my
of.
body.
Sorry?
I live in my body. What's it got to do with you?
Exactly, where they say where you live. The cop was going to say, he said, well, I can arrest you for refusing to give me an address. I said, hang on, you can arrest me for failing to give you something I don't have. Well, where do you live? I said, I live in a bus. Where's your bus? On the side of the road.
I'm in it right now.
Well, where are we going to send the fine? I said, I don't care where you send it, I'm not going to get it anyway.
It's quite riveting out here.
Now, something that's important, when you're doing, if you're getting the affidavit and you're filling out the form, Tracy needs accuracy in the answers that you give. So we've tried to put it in the form, how important it is to get each question right.
Like your full address.
Your full
With the
address
postcode.
with the postcode, not, the blue letterbox.
I had people sort of just giving me 7 Getty Street,
Yeah, where?
and I'm going, okay, is that
Actually,
whereabouts?
someone's registered a business. Liz, what's her name? The lawyer.
Yeah.
She rattled through some union registration certificate stated the purple doors south of Middlemore Hospital, and that's on that's.
Yeah. Because the address locks you into the legal name.
Hmm.
You don't get an address without a legal name.
She's not a lawyer anymore. She's been
She
disbarred.
got
She's
disbarred.
a lady.
Yeah, but you know,
That's
yeah.
exactly right. Yeah. Because when you're in the living, you decide how you live. You decide what you declare. You decide what anyone else has anything to do with you. That's your choice now. No one else has any control or jurisdiction over you. Not in the living. This is the whole power of becoming alive. Once you're alive, you've got options, you've got choices. You can choose to stay in the legal system and pay tax and do all the rest of it. Or you can choose to pay a little bit of that, and I want this part of the system, but I want this freedom over here. That's your choice now. You get to choose, not them. So your name, we want to cover your name in the uppercase, the lowercase. And we also ask for any other names that you might be known by. So you might have a previous, your maiden name, for example. If you still get, or previous marriages and so on, if you still get mail that affects you from a past name, we want to cover that name and protect that as well.
You don't have to put nicknames because that's not going to be on any of your bills or invoices or anything like that. I don't need shortened names. Like if your name's Richard, I don't need Ricky. You know, just Richard.
We need your name as it is on your birth certificate for a start. People say, oh, well, I don't like that. Well, we've got to do things right. If we don't do them right, if they can pull, I mean, we had John Campbell, the head JP for Otago. He asked if he could go through our whole affidavit. He said, I just want to, protect my JPs. If they're going to be signing these damn things, he said, I want to protect my JPs, but also, he said, I'm very, he's into the freedom side, he understands what we're going through and all the rest of it, he's got some sympathy there. But he said, I also want to protect you guys. I want to know if there's anything in this affidavit that a judge could possibly pull out and pull you up on. And I said, mate, you go for it. And so he went through it and he helped us with the jurat section, a couple of other slight word changes, just to make it accurate. And then he said, basically, his first comment when the guy brought the affidavit to him, he said, this has been put together by professionals who know exactly what they're doing. That was the head JP's comment.
He said it was the most comprehensive document that he'd seen.
And interestingly, we've had that back from a head JP in Wellington and a head JP on the coast as well, Anthony Wilson there. So these guys are recognising them. These guys are all getting information from the New Zealand JP Association, telling them not to sign it, giving them what it has to comply with. And they've all said, ours does. So,
I was going to say, my brother-in-law's a JP in Dunedin. So do we have to take our affidavit to a JP?
that's only one choice.
Right.
We've got two other options. Some JPs are going to turn you down because they don't know about all this stuff. Now I've said to them, well, you tell that JP to ring John Campbell.
Yeah.
You know, you contact him because he's the head JP for Otago, and if he doesn't know, no one knows. And if he's going to tell you as a younger JP, maybe you haven't had your number longer, or, you know, you're not sure about stuff, you speak to John. If he's the head JP, you're going to have to listen to him. Now, if they refuse to sign your documents, you can actually do them for abandoning their post. They must notarise the right documents.
And they also have absolutely zero right to know what is in that document. It is only to witness that that is your autograph.
None of their business.
They cannot ask you.
Only there is a notary. So just showing you what the inside of the document, we've got this big margin on the left here. Everything had to be correct all the way through. Point for point going through. Now this one goes through well, this is point 89, which was all to do with the lockdowns, the masks, vaccinations, testing and so on. Why do you think they put the temperature sensor and point it there?
It's a laser, by the way.
The laser temperature sensor. You know what your pineal gland is? So if you don't, look up your